So we've gone long as we usually do in this show. I don't know whether our Emmy talk is going to be part of episode 2 or whether it's going to be all of the episode 1. But we split our recording into like 2 shows now, just to make it more digestible. So, with all that said, we've got sports coming up. Yeah? You want me to dive into what?
I want you to go first. I want you to tell me what's going on with so when we say sports, we're lying. We mean Atlanta-based sports because we are based in Atlanta. So if you're a Falcons, a Hawks, an Atlanta United fan, stay tuned. If you're not, still stay tuned. We really need your views. So real quickly, tell me what's going on with our Braves, what's going on with our Atlanta United.
Yeah. So actually, no, before I talk about that, let me talk about the Hawks real quick. The season is going to start
Zino, real quickly, tell me what's going on with our Hawks.
Yes. The season is going to start very soon. Trae Young did get hurt in a preseason game, a left knee contusion or something like that, left calf contusion. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. So get well soon, Trae Young, because we need you. All right. Now let me go into, you were saying Braves or Atlanta United?
Well, very quickly, do you think the hype, if Trae Young comes back healthy and all that stuff, the hype on the Hawks, do you think it's going to be legitimate coming from last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think definitely it's a good team that we have.
Even before, what was his name? Pierce? Pierce?
Pierce Paul?
No, not Paul Pierce. That's a basketball player. The guy who was our coach before. I want to say Lloyd Pierce. Even before he left, the Hawks were a good team. We just had really big problems closing out games. We had all these like very close losses. And then when Nate McMillan came in, he changed all that. So the team is there. It wasn't a fluke that we went on that long run and then went to the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think we can get a full season of that with some new pieces that we've like drafted and all that stuff. The Hawks, they have every reason or every chance of going back to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's my take on them. You're asking about United, yeah? Okay.
Braves or United, whichever one. Just
let's do United. So Joseph Martinez recently scored his 100th goal as an Atlanta United player. It's not his 100th MLS goal, as some people seem to be mistaken. I think he only has 87 MLS goals. Atlanta United plays in other competitions as well, the CONCACAF Champions League, US Open Cup.
Are those not considered MLS games? Well, I guess they're not.
No, right? They're not, because they don't count towards the MLS season. They're other trophies. So between the MLS and those competitions, he has 100 goals. It's a big milestone. I think it's the fastest MLS player to reach that milestone. So that was a big thing. It was a penalty kick, but whatever. A goal's a goal. Atlanta United is currently 8th, which means they're just outside of the playoff places in the Eastern Conference. I think they're behind by like a point. They might be behind by like goal difference. It's a big thing that we're 8th right now, because when Zeus and I went to go see the Atlanta United game, they had lost. And I think in that time, they were in the midst of like a 2-month losing streak. Yeah. They hadn't won a game from like, I think early May till like early August. I think it was the first time they won a game in that span. Wow. Atlanta United was cratering. We ended up firing Gabriel Heinze. There was like there were reports that he was denying the players water breaks or something. The MLS Players Association sued Atlanta United on behalf of the players. There was like a lot of like drama that went up. So fired.
Sounds like the Saints suing Saint fans suing what's it called, the state of or the NFL for the bad penalty.
Oh, against the Rams?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So so they sued the MLS. They won that suit. They sued the Atlanta United and they won that suit. They fired the coach. The interim head coach, I think, had a 3-1 record. Like he won 3 games, lost 1, no draws. And then they brought in a new head coach who was the assistant at Seattle Sounders. I forget his name, but they brought him in, and we've been doing well. I think we've lost a couple of games, but we've gotten back into the playoff places, or at least close enough. There's only 6 games left in the season, though, so we need to like stack up some wins, get into the playoffs. I don't know that Atlanta United can like really do anything this year, but just the fact that we're getting into the playoffs after having such a terrible year prior, um, is enough of a celebration on its own. So
does that build into the next season? You know how they say that, I don't think it happens really in the NFL as much as people think it does, where, you know, the end of one season helps you continue that continuation. Because I think the offseason is so big, the transactions between players is so huge in the NFL. You know, people are cut, people are signed, so it's hardly ever the same team. You know, going back to one season to another. In MLS and soccer period, do you think that's a little bit more true?
Like a momentum thing, carrying a momentum from
because I
one
know you
season
guys,
to
I know
another.
they play like pretty much all year long. So
Yeah, momentum is definitely a thing. These players will go and play for their national teams in like World Cup qualifiers and stuff like that in between the season. I think that's more so what helps, like them having good competitions with the national teams, or having a good time off. I can't say for sure that, okay, a team that won 10 games to end the season last year is gonna come in and like steamroll. But it's always good to have a winning end, because we all know that teams play better across all sports when you have fans in the stadium supporting you and all that. And there's a risk if Atlanta were to like just completely like, you know, crap the bed like they were doing for those 2 months, that people would stop going to the games. I mean, honestly, the stadium isn't as packed as it used to be. Selling or buying tickets are a lot cheaper now than they used to be when Atlanta was like at the top of the game. So you're already getting some
tickets
back.
now.
Yeah. Oh no. Actually, no, don't buy tickets from game to game. You would get them cheaper now than you would have before. You're already seeing it where it's not as completely packed as before, and that translates on the field, right? So having that winning mentality definitely helps. So in that sense, yes, it could carry over to next season, where we're like, hey, we saw how we ended last season. We're this close to being good again. Let's just, you know, support
Being good again.
Yeah. I think we have a decent team. I haven't seen New England play too much, but they're like well ahead of everyone else right now in the points. At some point we would have to play them, especially if we just sneak into the playoffs. So that's probably where we would have trouble. But hey, they're close to the playoffs, and that's all that matters right now.
Okay. All right. Cool. What's up with the Braves?
Braves. So remember when we recorded back in like June or whatever, and I said that the Braves are not doing very well, and I said that maybe.
And I asked you if that's something to worry about, and you said not really.
I said not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
So this was one of our April recordings, because this would have been in the first month of the season. I said not yet. I said ask me again when we were 50 games in. Well, when we were 50 games in, I think the Braves are like 24 and 26. We were under 500. The Braves didn't get over 500. For those who are not familiar with baseball terminology, over 500 means having a 50% winning percentage, right? Yeah. Over 50% winning. So if you've played 10 games, it means you've won more than 5 games.
Yeah.
The Braves did not break 500 till August. The season starts in April, and they play almost every day. So they were like in like game 120 something when they finally broke 500. Yeah. So the thing is, once they broke 500, they never looked back. They took off. And the Braves season is something to be really proud of, because I talked about never breaking 500. Ronald Acuna, who was like on an MVP pace, went out on a season-ending injury. He tore his ACL in like July. The trade deadline is the end of July, and our GM, Alex Anthopoulos, immediately went out and got Jock Peterson from the Cubs. He had won a ring with the Dodgers last year. He was struggling with the Cubs. Anthopoulos came in and brought Peterson. Peterson started slugging again, hitting home runs. And then trade deadline, this guy goes and gets Richard Rodriguez, is a pitcher from the Pirates, and then he goes and gets a trio of outfield sluggers. Maybe four actually. What did he get? He got Eddie Rosario. He had gotten Arcia earlier, but he was injured, so he didn't play. He got Rosario. He got Jorge Soler from Kansas City, who started slugging again, and then he got Adam Duvall back from the Marlins. The Braves had traded Duvall to the Marlins early in the season, or when the season started, and they got him back. And all three of them just started just raking the ball as soon as they came back. It's like they were just looking for the right place to play. Adam Duvall ended the season with the National League title in RBIs with 118 runs batted in. And he was, I think, second place in home runs hit with 38 home runs, something like that, or maybe 39. Soler, since joining the Braves, I think hit like somewhere in the teens in home runs. Eddie Rosario hit for the cycle, which means in a single game that's hitting a single, double, triple, and a home run. All with just 5 pitches. He took the first pitch in his first at bat, and then the second pitch was I think a double. And every other at bat, first pitch swinging, he hit a triple. Next at bat, first pitch swinging, hit a home run. Next at bat, hit a single, and he made the cycle. And he was the second Brave to do it this season. And up to this point, Braves only have 4 cycles in like the Atlanta Braves history. Freddie Freeman has 2 of them. So it was a big deal. All of them became instant contributors to the cause. I think we were behind the Mets by like 7 games at one point.
Speaking of which, we went to their game with the Dodgers. That was a fun game.
Yeah, we went with the Yankees.
Yankees, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're saying Dodgers. Yeah, Yankees.
Yeah. So the Mets fell off hard. They ended up being the Braves and the Phillies towards the end, but then we ended up beating the Phillies. So yeah, the Braves are back in the playoffs. They've won their 4th straight NL East title, and we're gonna face the Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow, October 8th, in Milwaukee for Game 1 of the NLDS. And I am very much looking forward to it.
All right, real quickly, how do you think they're gonna do? Do you think they have a good chance?
I think we can beat Milwaukee. I'm not super worried about Milwaukee. They've got good pitching, but they've lost one of their relief pitchers because he punched a wall last week, and he's out for the rest of the playoffs. So,
like out of anger?
I think he said he had been drinking, and he punched the wall. Yeah.
Good for him. That's stupid. Anyways,
yeah, and he feels very bad. And yada yada. Yeah, he's like the setup guy in the bullpen. He has a very low ERA. Like he's like one of the main guys when he punched the wall.
That sucks.
The hitters aren't particularly great, so I'm not too worried about the Brewers.
All right,
on the other side, is the Giants and the Dodgers. 107 wins, 106 wins. The only reason they're playing each other is because with 106 wins, since they're in the same division, the Dodgers didn't win the division, so they had to be in the wild card game.
Okay.
Yeah, and they beat the Cardinals yesterday. So
that's kind of good for the other teams because that
means one of them gets
at least
to go.
One monster.
Yes, exactly. I'd rather face the Giants just because the Dodgers are like a bogey team. We just can't get past them.
I know they're the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James for the Hawks.
Yes.
So that makes sense. Real quickly, before we go into the Falcons, I wanted us to talk real fast about our. We did end up going to one game. We wanted to go to the Yankee Stadium, but we just didn't get a chance. We went to go drink near it, so that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But when we went to New York, we actually ended up going to I think it was the first game in the Subway Series. No, it was the very first game.
It was the first game, and no, we didn't actually want to go to a Yankees game because when we had been looking at the things before, we were talking about going.
Where the hell we were going?
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about the Yankees versus Mets, and then we just never bought the ticket. It just so happens that your friends were going, so they were like, let's buy 2 more tickets. So we sent them the money to go to the 2 tickets. It was great. But we did go to Yankee Stadium just out of nowhere. We were trying to go see the Bucks versus the Cowboys, ended up being right next to Yankee Stadium. So that was cool. But sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, man, I'm not gonna lie. That was probably the second best atmosphere I've ever been in. And I'm pretty sure it had everything to do with the fact that everybody there was from New York. So everybody was, it was
New York versus New York.
Yeah, it was a house divided kind of thing, right? But it was so fun. It's only second to the my very first Atlanta United game, which I was in the fan
in the supporter section.
In the supporter section. So that's the reason why.
What team was Atlanta United playing?
It was when Joseph Martinez tied the
hat-trick
goal
record.
No, the goal record.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2018, I think.
I know he broke it against Orlando in Orlando. I don't remember.
There was the one right before that where he tied.
Yeah. I don't remember who he tied it against, but okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
That game was like the greatest atmosphere I've ever been into. This one was like probably the second one. Like it was just the atmosphere was so freaking fun. It was really cool. I just thought we should talk. We just wanted to mention it real fast. That was really fun. So if you ever have a chance to go to New York and go to one of their games, cool. If you ever have a chance to go to one of the Subway Series, I think that's even better because it honestly was a really fun thing to go to.
Yeah, Citi Field is fun. I will say that the seats are very small.
Yes,
we were all over each other.
It reminds me of the worst seating ever been to is always going to be for me State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena is horrible. It wasn't before, but once they renovated, it seems like they put every seat together by like 2 inches and probably made room for like an extra 60 seats maybe. It's the worst seating arrangement ever. Me and Zino might have cuddled a little bit because we had to. It was out of necessity, and it was getting cold, and we didn't have sweaters.
Well, when the Yankees fans started leaving,
then we separated.
I moved up and took one of the empty rows. So sorry, I know you wanted to continue that, but anyway, so
I won't be vulnerable with you.
All right.
But anyways, that was really fun. It was really fun going to that game. So if you ever have a chance to go to those kind of things, really cool.
Yes.